Welcome to Locker Room Sports Talk.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome into another Thursday night hit for Locker Room Sports. Glad y'all come by and make me a little part of your day right here. Expect to be on maybe an hour. There's high school football games going on for down in UAB. The Super 7, Thompson winning the game last night, winning like their 50th state championship for 7A football here. And I just got done watching Maplesville and Wadley rematch from last year, 1A, which, you know, we love 1A football. Bring those guys up. So Maplesville was up 42-14 with about 4 minutes left in the game last time I checked. So that's kind of where we're at right here, right now. But Viger will be playing here in just a few minutes. And I could say you probably look forward to that game. Viger is this 5A state championship. They're going to play Moody, so of course we'll be pulling for Moody. What a game that will turn out to be. Also, shout out to Coach Higgins at Mars Hill, back-to-back state champs, beating Bayside Academy. Watched a lot of that game today. Not a lot. Listened to a lot of it. Saw a little bit of it. 38-21. Sorry, 38-21 right here. So kind of looking forward to that. Welcome in everybody to the page. Glad y'all come by. We're gonna break down some. We're gonna stay on real long. But high school football scores, just kind of giving some of those and letting everybody know what's up. Share this over here on the page and see how everybody's doing here. Hit that button and that one. And there we go. Okay. So congratulations again to Thompson winning. Viger Moody's going to play here in a little bit. Maplesville 42-14 score. Last one I checked. I can get the actual score here for 1A. And the final score 42-22. Okay, so Wadley wound up scoring again. But Wilkes had come out of the game early. So good luck to him. Great. I mean, Jaquiz, talking about Quiz, Wilkes down at Wadley 1A, still small 1A school. He signed to play defensive end with Auburn. So hope he heals up quickly. Best of luck, Godspeed to him. And there's a new dog on the block. If you like small football or big football, I don't care. Nehemiah McCray is him. 10th grader, look him up at Maplesville. His other backup tailback, guy that plays in backfield with him, Hall. This team is not new. In 2015, Cedar Bluff played them for state championship, and they beat us down there 2015. Carlos Dunlap was a tailback then. He went on to play DB at Troy. Man, this Nehemiah McCray son, just Google his name. What's up, Big L? Yes. Lance, you got to look up this McCray kid at Maplesville. I'm telling you, he is he's on that. He's up there. He's a 10th grader. he had over 200 yards a night. He scored 6 touchdowns. Most of the time, running backs at small 1A schools, Lance played 1A ball there at Cedar Bluff. Most of the time, like Worm and some of those guys, usually at smaller schools, running backs wind up being linebackers or DBs. Was talking about Dunlap when they played Cedar Bluff. What up, Zach? And I'm just telling you, the way this kid runs, he is something else. Nehemiah McCray. Bro, he's something else, man. Yeah, somebody needs to. And Dexter Talbert, he does a lot of recruiting stuff here, and around the state and stuff for young guys, helps get their foot in the door. He already knows about him. I mean, he's shared some videos of him. They beat Fife pretty well in a season opener game. I seen him play last year as a freshman, and you can tell, man. I've seen enough kids play. You can tell talent when talent's real. But when I was making the point of them playing linebacker or corner, this McCray, he's got a real good chance to be a tailback because he's like 6'3", 220. He's 10th grader. And I seen him wearing an Auburn towel. That's cool. It's the South team, and Auburn's down that way. I would highly suggest for him to, think about being in a school in state that has Heisman winning running backs, like recently. Yeah, he's a beast, man. God bless him wherever he goes. Good gracious, man. I can't wait to see him play even more. So let's dig on in here to college football for the weekend. Is anybody interested in North Texas Tulane? They're going to play tomorrow night at 7. We're going to watch Edison and Jackson play tomorrow at 11. High school football game will be very interesting on NFHS. But North Texas is going to be down at Tulane. Summerall's going to be coaching the game. And North Texas favored by 2.5 in this game, in which their coach is not there. He took a job. Where did he went to Oklahoma State, I think. So matchup-wise, North Texas, their quarterback, he's thrown for over 3,500 yards. Mestemaker, he's an Austin, Texas quarterback. He can run it, gun it, and sling it, and have some fun with it all over the field. I think they'll play him a good game. But in how Tulane, how they run their offense and that kind of stuff, they're 10-2 overall. They're 7-1, in the conference. But look for this tailback. I want to make sure he's playing. The Hawkins kid, 1,200 yards rushing on the year for North Texas. He's from Shawnee, Oklahoma. I like to see if he can get loose, how he does against the Tulane defense. So that'll be a game that'll be on tomorrow night at 7. That'll be the fit game for the number 12 spot in the bracket. If y'all missed that show, go back Tuesday, pull up that show, and we get right into it because the show comes right on as we're getting on there. First 5 minutes of the show, and we go down through all the top 25 and give our opinions here or there on how things kind of shaking out. BYU Texas Tech play the first game Saturday, and Georgia Bama plays at 3 ABC, and then Indiana Ohio State play the late game. BYU Texas Tech. And I know it's ain't about a bracket show, but there are a lot of shows today I've pedaled through, from the round table to Coach JB show and all of them. McCarron and Siski and them talking about if Bama, if they was to lose and BYU wins, is that going to bump, could bump Bama out of the picture? I don't know. I don't think so. And honestly, it's fun to see Tulane and North Texas play. And I think the winner of that game should have their own championship and be crowned in their own way, in their own division-style championship. me personally. I would rather have, yeah, I mean, let BYU and Vandy in. Let them be the 11, 12 instead of having this, group of five. I want to see good games. I mean, the way the bracket laid out yesterday, guys, I don't want to see Tulane go to Oregon. It's just not what I'm most looking forward to. Now, for the highlight of the day, we do have an injury report talking about Georgia-Alabama game, SEC championship game. Again, these two teams have met up so many times just over the past 10 or 15 years. Injury report for what we're looking for. Alabama Crimson Tide out. LT Overton. I read the practice report Tuesday when we come on later after the show, and he practiced Tuesday. So I don't know, and that's when they start. They start practice on Tuesday. He was there. I don't know what happened. I'm trying to figure out some more stuff. That's not going to be a good blow for Alabama for him to be out. He's been just a dog. I mean, just absolute dog in the middle of that defense, making havoc, just creating crap, just making a big mess out of everything. We know Latham, one of the DBs, he's still going to be out. Riley, running back, he's still out. He broke his jaw in Eastern Illinois. I don't know. Man, one of y'all, Lance, you played a lot of that. How you break your jaw in a darn game? Good gracious, man. How you get your jaw broke? I guess you take a shot down the chin or whatever. Questionable for the game. We saw Jam Miller went out. He was on crutches at the end of the Iron Bowl. Last part of that, just says lower leg injury. Cam Dewberry, offensive line, both questionable. No Cuevas. He's still going to be out. They're still listing him as questionable. I'm telling you, from people I've talked to and stuff and had reports on. Maybe if Bama was to make it to a title game, you might see Cuevas. I don't think you're going to see him back. But then the other tight end, Danny Lewis Jr., is still going to be out. So got some guys nipped up and got some guys nicked up there. Let's see here. And Georgia looks like guys will be out. Still Young, he's still going to be out as far as their wide receiver, tight end. Barber, tailback, Bo Walker, and Jones, DB, Hall. Drew Bobo, he's the center. I mean, they've played without him a little bit already. Let me just tell you, the center is a key part of the game, but it seems like they've done okay with him not being in there. And Bama center, Parker Browsford, he'd missed a game and he come back in against Auburn. And Auburn's, their defense is good. They're top 10 defense, but Bama's really running the ball well on them. And did y'all notice that that when they put them back in, when Parker come back in, Bama didn't run the ball as good anymore. Let's see, Vore said that the running back from Jackson that signed with Alabama, which is Ezekiel Crowell, he might get to play. Yeah, let's see. They're losing. I know Jam's a senior. Which one was the other senior? Was it Riley or Young? What? Zach or Bean, y'all probably know. Was it Riley was a senior or Richard Young? I think it's Riley. I think Richard Young's like a sophomore. I'm pretty sure Richard's the one that played up at Tuscaloosa High School. And AK Deer, he'll be there next year too. Young freshman, Bama tailback. He'll be a sophomore next year. Could Zeke play? He reclassified. So he's doing the same thing Ryan Williams did. I'm not a man. You're putting these guys in the. We're not talking about a lineman. Like I think the Bear Fretwell kid. I think he reclassified. Bama picked him up on signing day yesterday, which I think they're going to finish probably a top 3 class or so. I think on 3 has them at 5. Do y'all like this reclassification? These guys are so young, man. They're coming in, 17-year-old. I mean, they're taking these advanced classes in high school. My son took one. He took the English to get it out of the way so he didn't have to take it in college. And I don't know, man. Being that key positions like running backs and wide receivers, you see what Ryan Williams did, just blasted on the scene last year. Nobody knew nothing about him. This year, he's got more attention defensively. And he's just kind of been a no-show. It's hard, man. They're young. He's supposed to have started his college career this year. I don't know. I'm not crazy about it, especially running back. Man, he's going to be so young coming in. He's a dude now. I've watched him play since his freshman year. Crowell is great from Jackson. Maybe get in. Maybe we could get some snaps, especially against some. Chattanooga. Bama picked up Chattanooga. They dropped South Florida because the coach swapping, so they swapped Chattanooga for South Florida. So next year, I see him play Chattanooga. It'd be interesting, but what do y'all think about that? I don't know. It's a little worrisome for me. I'm just not there yet. Y'all make sure you hit thumbs up right now while you live here on the video, talking about Bama, talking about Georgia, players out. We're kind of going through that list right now. We're talking about some high school football. Winners and losers over there right now. Viger Moody will play here in about 45, 50 minutes. So the deep mud into the matter. Bama setting the top of the SEC. Ain't that crazy? 7-1 in the conference, along with Georgia, Ole Miss, A&M. Also, all are 11-1. Bama 10-2, and Georgia's players do know that this is unfinished business for them. They're going to make a trip 50 miles over on the road trip there, 40 miles or whatever, to take care of Alabama. And the number one topic we'll bring up first is the hot topic. And I don't know if but one person I've heard bring this up. Everybody's saying, well, Bama's played worse since Georgia and Bama played. They hadn't been as good. And we're going to show you why that is. We'll get into that. But Georgia's still looking to know that the quarterback situation, Ty versus Stockton, is going to be a battle for the ages. I'm going to say the same thing again that I said about the Iron Bowl. For Bama to be victorious, Ty he's going to need to run the football. I ain't seen he's got to run for 100 yards, but they run him pretty well in the Auburn game. It gives another level for Georgia defense to have to protect. And Kirby's the best of the best, man. He's going to disguise things, and they're going to roll in there. They're going to bring a guy in motion to see if he follows, and he don't. That means they're playing zone, and all of a sudden the guy jumps out, and they'll switch the man that he's on that side where he went in motion to, and he'll play man on him, and they'll play man, and they'll send a bunch of dudes up the middle on a blitz, and Ty will be on his back. Those type of things, which Grubb knows that. He knows, what he's doing. So, it's going to be interesting how this plays out and how much of effective Overton not playing for Bama is going to kind of play into that. Pass rush is going to be key. Not to let guys being able to streak down the field is going to be important for both teams. Kirby talked about, Bama hitting explosive plays and that type of stuff. And he's going to be humble and say that, they're a good football team. Ty throws the ball on time. They've run the ball better here of late, et cetera, et cetera. Like the team is pretty much aware that linebacker Wilson said they know what's at stake. Georgia is complete understanding, and guys like Tim Keene and them said it's definitely going to be a great battle, one for the century, like it always is when Alabama and Georgia play. Now, Georgia fell to 1-7 against Alabama under Smart, 24-21 loss back on the 27th of September. That was their first home loss And the Bulldogs are 0-3 in the series in the last 4 years, including that loss. The 27-24 also scored for a 23-year ACC championship game where Georgia was ranked number 1 undefeated, coming off back-to-back national championships. So, who runs the state? The win Saturday will give Alabama a 2-game sweep of Bulldogs season, with both games being there in Georgia. So, competition-wise, we went through injury updates. You would kind of think that Kirby has the upper hand, but DeBoer has figured out a way, to make this work, and just to be able to preview the game and get an idea of how this is going to go. It's just kind of dead middle. So let's talk about some players. We know about Jam. He's run for about 500 yards. Frazier's been an 800-yard rusher. I don't know if Bowden is hurt or what has happened to him. Birds said that he had come out early in one of the games, and I'm not sure. He's not on the injury report, so we just went through it. That's good for Georgia. Now, the guy that we're going to see this tandem play off, 68 receptions, 690 yards for Zachariah Branch, USC transfer that came in. This guy's a dude. He is, when you look at the word football in the dictionary, Zachariah Branch, he's him. They're really close on receiving yards. Bernard's got 700 yards, just 9 more than him, but with 15 or 20 less receptions. Bernard's got 51 receptions. He's got 6 touchdowns. Branch has got 4. So these are 2 of their playmakers. You want to see them get the ball in their hands. Now, leading the team in sacks, Yanzi Pierre has 6 on the year for Bama. He's really been a difference maker. He's come on here more late than early. And with guys like Hillgreen, Overton not playing is a problem. But look for guys like remember James Smith. Smith is a D-O double triple G. This guy gets after it, causes havoc. He just watching I seen an interview with him, and then watching Smith interact with people after games, like on the field, like little reels and stuff. He's not a very nice person when it comes to playing football. He's kind of got that Reuben Foster kind of mentality. Like, Reuben had report of saying that he had to smoke a cigarette at halftime to keep from killing his own players. He's crazy, plays wild. And so look for Smith maybe to step up now. Tackles on the year, of course, Allen, I talked about him a while ago. He's got 80 tackles on the year. But these 2 defenders, it's going to be key for him to be able to recognize plays and how to jump in and out, which he'll do a great job. But also, you can't go without mentioning Deontay Lawson, which has stepped up and played a good game. Talked about last Saturday how he grew up an Auburn fan. And that's pretty cool to go out to never lose to Auburn. That was pretty cool for experience for him to come to Bama and do that. But Jefferson is Bama's leading tackle linebacker. He's got 63. 63 on the year. Now, last 5 games, you can kind of look at scores and compare Georgia and Bama and blah, 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 that kind of stuff. And here's what we're going to get into. Number 1 was we're going to compare the huge comment of everybody saying, well, Bama's just not real good since they played Georgia, man. Georgia seems to be excelling and just played better. Well, let's take a little deeper dive into that. Let's put this up on the old screen here. Now, so what has Georgia done? Who have they played since they played Alabama? Well, let's take a look. Kentucky, terrible. At Auburn, not real good. Won by 10. Ole Miss, good football team. Close game, good game. Florida, not real good. Won by 4. Mississippi State, trash water. One big. Texas, they're kind of right along the middle. They took care of business. So let's just remember that. Georgia's record here. Who did they play since they lost to Bama? One, two, three, four, 5 really bad teams. Texas pretty okay. Texas got a pretty good football team. Ole Miss, good football team. So I think they've played probably one real legit game, maybe 2. You give them 2. Tech, and it's ACC, I guess, whatever. They're supposed to win that game. But, low scoring, but, it's the rival game. And, maybe they had a lot going on in their head. So, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pretty miserable looking schedule. I mean, if you just ask me, five games that you kind of would think that's not real good. So, since Bama's played them, let's find out why the naysayers to say, well, Bama's not been real good since they played Georgia, man. I don't know what's going on over there. All right. You can compare these maybe with Ole Miss, I guess. They're okay. I mean, I think they could be. I would rather have. I like to see them in other than Tulane. I don't want to see Tulane in there. Just stop with that crap, man. I don't want to see them. Let Vandy go up to Oregon and play. I mean, they might beat them, but I think they may have a better chance than Tulane. Missouri, man, they're okay. I don't remember if they had their quarterback at this time. Did they have their quarterback at this time? Y'all tell me. I don't know if he's already out hurt or what. Was he already out or? I don't think so. I know when we played them. No, he played that game. So, pretty good team at the time. Tennessee, they're a pretty good football team. Won by a little more 2 touchdowns. South Carolina, they're a very mid team. LSU, good defense, just couldn't figure out any offense. Oklahoma, they're number 8 in the playoffs right now, and in this gimme game. And Auburn is like the Georgia Tech. They're pretty good, man. They're not a bad squad. They're just still trying to figure out who they were. I think them not playing Ashton, him having no reps with the ones until just a couple of days that week before going in, he was just very gun shy, man. Bama was drilling down on Daniels that first half, and he was just literally ducking for cover. So, it seemed like Georgia had 5 kind of crap games. Which one of these would be crap games, maybe? South Carolina, maybe. Probably LSU. They ain't won a lot of games. Maybe 2, I guess. And we ain't counting them. So I guess like 2 games. Georgia had 5 games. After they played Bama, they ain't really played nobody. I mean, we just looked at it. Let's go back and look again and make sure. To make sure we didn't miss nothing. So we're just trying to figure out, why did, after Bama beat Georgia, what happened to Bama? Well, it looks like they played a pretty decent teams, and Georgia got Kentucky, Auburn, Florida, Mississippi State. Yeah, one of these things don't look like the other. That's just my opinion. Just my opinion, what I know. So what are y'all thinking about this? tomorrow. We're going to hear something about Overton. So I don't know, man. He was at practice Tuesday, and then I guess he got hurt yesterday. That's all I can figure out. Okay, see, I hadn't even heard that. I didn't know if it's a lower leg body injury or. Yeah, that's the other senior. It's the guy that transferred in, Trey Washington. So you'll have him and Zeke, and have Crowell and AK Deer and Hill and Riley. Yeah, Bama have a good backfield next year. So what's the whole conundrum then? Does Bama have a? I guess you'd have to say, of course, they have a chance to win the game. I'm personally not real, crazy about the game. Bama jumped out to a quick score. Last time Bernard had a 6-yard touchdown from Ty, and made it 7-0. They went up 14-7, and just right before halftime, it's 14-0, and Georgia scores, made it 14-7. So just kind of, it seems that Bama started hot, come out really quick. Gunner throwed for 130 yards, Ty throwed for 276. But Bowens ran for 120 yards. He was a real Achilles heel to Bama, and he had 12 carries, and he had about 3 of those carries went for 20-plus yards. So half of his yards are on 3 runs. And so the other probably 10 carries, if he had 10 carries for 6 yards apiece, give him 60, then he had like 3 carries for 60. He had hit 3 big ones. Now, Hubbard has played like a man possessed. He had a really good game. He went with 9 tackles in that game, and Hill had 1.5 sack, and Cole for Georgia had 1. And of course, C.J. Allen, he's their guy. He's kind of like that Pierre. Sort of can get after the quarterback. He's going to make tackles. It's like Jefferson. He's going to be where the ball is. He's going to make good guesses and good judgment, good assessments in the game. So, what are we thinking score-wise? Oh, yeah, I did too. Maples was good early pick. The Hall kid, and of course, Nehemiah McCray. I don't know. Could Mars Hill? They're going to bump to 4A next year. In the style of play and the football that they play, they run the old wing T. Coach Higgins does at Mars Hill. They're 3A. They'll be 4A next year. I'm not going to doubt him because he's a good coach. I don't know, man. Maybe to win the North, they may have a good shot at, maybe. Here's the thing. Jackson's probably not going to be 4A next year. I've heard they're going to bump down to 3. So South 4A, these other teams that are going to come in for 4A South, like St. Michael's, these guys are going to throw the ball all over the place, and they're going to score in about 4 to 6 plays, and it's going to be 7-0 quick, and then Higgins is going to get the ball at Mars Hill and go on about a 12, 13-play drive and really run the clock and tie it. But if they ever have to punt or they ever have a turnover and another team scores, and because these teams scored explosive plays, I don't know how good they could play from behind in the style of football they play. Now, I'm not saying they're ever going to be behind. I mean, I don't know. It'll definitely be interesting. Zach's got Bama 27-17. Rolling you scores, man. Let's get this thing rolling and let's figure this out. And we'll talk for a few minutes here and we'll get off and tune in to Viger and Moody. I just want to come on here for a little bit and talk some Bama and Georgia. I guess more talking points for them. Total yardage last time the game was pretty close. Bama leaned more towards 400. Georgia leaned more towards 350. Bama had 25 first downs in this game. Absolutely insane. They were 13 for 19 for third downs, but Georgia was only 2 for 8. So that tells you that ain't having a look at clock time. Bama had the ball for 35 minutes. Georgia had the ball for 24. If they can dial up that same kind of recipe, I would, definitely have to assume that Bama would have the upper hand in that situation. I mean, you just would. You would just really have to assume that that's how things would kind of lay out. How they see Bama throw the ball 40 times, Georgia throw the ball 20. Rushing attempts, 33 rushing attempts for Georgia, 38 for Bama. But Georgia rushed for 200 something, and Bama only rushed for 117 yards. 4 penalties. I really like, if we're going to say that, I really can give complimentary things to say Bama's better at turning the ball over now, since we're going to go back and weigh out our case. And they're really ripping at the ball. The guys are knocking the balls down. They ain't getting picks. They missed about 3 picks in the Auburn game they should have picked, and they dropped 2 picks for sure. I think that I answered the question of why does Alabama not look so good, Matt, since they've played Georgia? It's kind of been downhill. Why? Because they've played better teams than Georgia has since the meeting. Well, I mean, we went back and forth twice on it. I mean, it's not rocket science. You can look that Mississippi State, Florida, and Kentucky is not real great opponents. And LSU's not great, but LSU, beating like Mississippi State's or Kentucky's, and, it's really going to depend on Ty running the ball and Bama making some plays on defense. I think that's going to be a huge part of it. I really do. So if Alabama and BYU wins their conference titles, then Notre Dame, well, the word is yes, they'd have to be. It's kind of put pressure on Notre Dame to kind of have to join the conference, because where Bass is playing, they're going to hang out at the house. Ohio State and Indiana. Yeah, we can talk about that one, Zach. Yeah, I kind of think Duke could cause a bunch of problems for some teams trying to move up or something, but and so I heard that earlier today that they were. I don't know if I heard it for sure that they hired Napier at James Madison. How will he do there? Not as much pressure, for sure, on them. For him to be there, it's just not. So you can kind of say how that's going to ride out. They're not a superpower team. He can go in there and recruit. Well, Billy's not a bad recruiter, man. He can go in there and get some players and win some football games. I think he can do pretty good there. Let's see. Indiana, Ohio State. Play the night game on Fox. Duke and Virginia will play the same time on ABC, but Indiana and Ohio State, well, of course, they're going to be on Fox. 4-point favorite for the Ohio State. I'm leaning, just a knee-jerk reaction. It kind of feels like I know they got some new staff, and Ohio State didn't their in Heartline. Didn't he? Or was they trying to get him for another job, or did he? I can't remember if he took another job or not. Signati jokes that a year late, I had the opportunity to be a part of a couple of those when he's coaching Alabama when we played Florida, Tim Tebow and Urban Meyer those 2 years in a row. It's going to be a great atmosphere. I think that, no, I know that you're playing in this game for a reason. Big Ten championship means an awful lot. Buckeyes 12-0, Hoosiers both 12-0, similar positions, the playoff locks. I think the loser falls to 3 or 4. I don't think they're going to get first round bye. So I think it's fair. No, because their schedule is just crap. You can just schedule, one tough game and you're in. And, if your strength of schedule is in the 40s and higher, get out of here, man. You got to do something better than that. Despite the steady parade of players from Columbus to the NFL, the Buckeyes watched the last 4 Big Ten titles games from home, a drought that coincided with them in the 4-game losing streak that they dreaded to Michigan, which they took care of this year. So after this week and defeating national championships, hope to fulfill another preseason goal by hosting their Big Ten title trophy in 5 years. Yeah, and they've won it and not won their conference. Caleb Downs said that they were excited. He's a trader in a position to have a chance to play for the Big Ten championship. The problem that the Hoosiers are relatively newcomers to the stage, and that's my point. I think, Ohio State staff-wise and stuff, and some of these players, they've played in a lot of big games. And I'm just curious to see how this game kind of turns in the hands of experience. It's going to be played in Indiana. It's going to be in Indianapolis. I think it's at Lucas Oil Stadium or whatever. Kind of a home game for Indiana, of course. It's not that far for Ohio State to go neither. You kind of want to side, like I said, just, first thoughts, bam, it's Ohio State, to win this game. But, we need to talk about Heisman. Jesus Christ, man, who in the heck is going to win this darn thing? They've made it out like whoever wins this game, that quarterback's Heisman winner. And neither one of them made a case to me that looked like, I mean, really, what? Who's the Heisman? Who's on anybody's short list? Good Lord, man, please put some names in the comments. Anybody? Somebody? Let's see here. How about see here. Leading rushers, Hardy is over 1,500, of course, in Missouri. Is Love, is he going to be a guy, to put on a Heisman list? We had a good running back in a while. K1 Lacey, bro, 1,300 yards rushing. Really like him a lot too. This LJ Martin kid at BYU, he's over 1,200 yard guy. The Caleb Hawkins kid at North Texas, going to get to see him play Friday night, 1,200 yard guy. Was anybody watch Mississippi State in the Egg Bowl, Ole Miss? Was anybody happily surprised to see Mississippi State's quarterback, who was it, Tyler? God dang, man, he's going to be something else. Early warning signs coming up next year. If you got Mississippi State coming on the schedule, bro, he's going to be trouble. So top, number 12 and 13 rushers are BYU and North Texas. The LJ Martin kid, has a good game maybe, but right now leading rushing in the nation is guess who? Oh, alma mater, Fear the Beak, 1,581 yards. Is Cam Cook at Jacksonville State. They'll be playing Kennesaw State for the conference championship too. Here's a dumb question: is there any chance that we could ever see a guy from a smaller university win the Heisman? No. But his skill of football, his skill versus his competition is no different than Hardy. Hardy come from. Did he play at South Alabama? Let's see, where is it? Is it not the same competition versus? Let's see, Missouri, Louisiana Monroe. Yeah. 1,560 yards. He averages 6.5 yards a carry, 16 touchdowns. He's had a 72-yard long. He's caught the ball only 6 times. I mean, who's our Heisman people, man? I mean, I've been doing this, for a long time, watch football forever and ever. And who's going to be a guy? Who are we? I mean, sometimes there's just a clear, like when Derrick Henry played, to me, there's just a clear winner. Cam Cook, where's he from? He's from Round Rock, Texas. By the way, he's a junior at Jacksonville State. 5'11", 195. He's a DUD dude. He can do it. He came from TCU, played 2 seasons out there. I remember hearing him talk about that. So, leading receivers, in the year, who's leading in receiving? He's leading in rushing. I mean, it's him and Hardy or, kind of the guys. Receiving wise, North Texas again, they're all up in these stats. 1,200-yard receiver, Wade Young. Some prominent schools that's, got a winning. The Broswell kid from Tennessee, over 1,000. Who's the first SEC? The Satania kid from Oklahoma. He's not even over 1,000. Oh, by the way, recruiting-wise, I've seen Houston on here, the Amari Thomas kid. Let me find out if he's a junior or what. Because they got the number 1 quarterback. He's a kid from out there at Texas. Amari Thomas, receiver at Houston. Is he going to be around next year? He's a junior. He could come back and play. He's from Birmingham, Alabama. Amari Thomas at Houston. So I guess your first SEC is Satania. No, Tennessee Braswell. He's the only one over 1,000. We're trying to find some Heisman picks, man. I mean, it's going to get up here on us. I mean, this time of year, around conference championship game time, man, you got to start looking for somebody. The McAllister kid at TCU, he's over 1,100 yards with 10 touchdowns. $14 touchdowns. Holy crap. Where is this kid at? Camden Brown. I don't even know the logo. It's like Georgia Southern. Camden Brown. He is from Monroe, Louisiana. Oh, yeah. This dude looks 30 years old. Good gracious, man. Dang. Senior guy, been playing forever. Has had a great year. Looks like a very mature young man, Camden Brown. 14 touchdowns. It's averaging 16.7 yards a catch. 6'2", 200 pounds. Man, how did LSU get away from him? How did Auburn let him go? Auburn, what are y'all doing? He was at Auburn for 3 years. Why? Camden Brown, bro, somebody tell me what happened. He just got tired of not getting the ball thrown to him. His quarterback throwing picks, what it sounded like. Took off to Georgia Southern. It just went off. Wow. Okay. And lastly, we're trying to figure out a Heisman. I've looked at this one time, and y'all got to help me. Good Lord, man. This North Texas team, they beat the freaking brakes off them. They got a stat guy in the top 5 in every stat. Number 1 passer that drew Meskmaker. Guess what? 3,800 yards. That puts him at number 1. The Robinson kid out Baylor's second. First SEC team, Aguilar. He's in there for 3,400 yards. Been sacked 17 times. Not bad. So Tennessee's up in the top 10 on receiving and passing. Pavia, 3,100. What do y'all like about him? See, Carson Beck's at 3,000. Ty Simpson's at 3,000. Ty Simpson is 19. Right above him at 18 is Julian Saying. They are within 10 yards of each other. Ty's been sacked 22 times. Good Lord. Julian Saying's been sacked 6 times. No wonder he's throwed for a bunch of yards. Krabby's got all day to throw. They don't play nobody. I mean, what's the best defense they've saw up there? So who do we have on what do we got here? Number 1, Heisman guys. Anybody, somebody. 2, do we like Pavia? I mean, does he get an invite? Jeremiah Love, he's been there a while. Great runner of the ball. Great young man. Never hear nothing about him. He's the kind of guy you like representing the Heisman. Pavia's not. Background is sketch. He's got a lot of smart aleck crap. He likes to say 1 week he's rolling with Jesus and next week he's grabbing his crotch. You know, I don't. He needs some. Attention and fame is not good for everybody. Some people don't handle it very well. This is I know this Taylor kid, man. I thought he had a good game, man. He's going to be trouble for some people next year. Y'all look out. You got Mississippi State on your schedule, bro. Who's the most absurd team to produce? I don't. I didn't think that. RG3 at Baylor deserved that year. He threw a Hail Mary to beat Oklahoma in that game, and they just crowned him that night. I wasn't a big White fan out of Oklahoma. I didn't think he was good either. There's a lot of Heisman people I didn't really feel. That's right, baby. Fear the beak. Yeah, they're going to be down at Mobile. And be back up here, I guess. We can't drive to Mobile. Why is our North teams got to drive all the way to Mobile? But the South teams just drive. Some of them's going to drive 10, 20, 30 minutes to the game. We're going to have to drive 5 hours. Mars Hill, imagine this. They win 4A North next year. Guess where they got to drive? Mobile. Mars Hill's up around Decatur. Bro, that's up west of Huntsville. That's a haul to drive Mobile. And they're going to have to, which they got the money for kids to stay in hotels and that type of stuff. So, so does Pavia get an invite? Jeremiah Love. And one of the winners of Ohio State, Indiana. They put 3 on the stage or 4, guys. I don't even remember. Is it 4 or 3? If for the 4th one, who would you have? If it is 4, we'll just say that it is. Who else? The first name popped in my head is Satania kid at Oklahoma. I mean, if we're just going to, have a 4th seat, it's really and let's just look up this. I gotta look at this. The definition of Heisman winner. We talked about Georgia and Alabama and broke it down a couple of different ways, offense, defense, each one. The annual award given to the most outstanding key right here, the most outstanding player in the NCAA football. It don't matter if they're what team they play on. You can't go by records or what rank the team is. It always winds up going to the top ranked team and the quarterback. There's an award for that. Ain't the Maxwell Award? That's the quarterback, the Johnny Unitas and that type of stuff. That's for those awards. It don't just because you're the best passer don't mean you win the Heisman. I get that just it kills me, bro. Having that stat. What does that mean? You know, who's the most electrifying player, the most outstanding player in college football, period? Who's the most outstanding football player? When you watch him play, you're just like, holy crap, wow, this guy. You've seen some explosive plays from running backs like Frazier. We've seen Ty have moments, drive the field, win the game, keeping his composure. He's cool. Bernard, good receiver. Hardy kids run for a lot of yards at Missouri, man, but then when he played Bama, he had like 50 yards. He just didn't play good. I don't know, man. I'm telling you what's going to happen. Y'all already know. They're going to give it to one. Ohio State or Indiana, their quarterback's winning the Heisman. Yeah, the game's fixing to kick off. We fix and go watch that one, baby. Chris Henry Jr. still is available to sign somewhere else. He said he's still trying to weigh his options due to coaching change. Okay. All right. Well, Georgia, Bama, look for another barn burner. If Bama can start hot, Ty's going to have to run the ball some. Ryan needs to find himself again in this game. I need to see him make 3 catches for at least 60 or 75 yards. Bama's going to have to be close to 100 running the ball, man, if they want to win this game. Penalties are always important, special teams. Fielding punts well, those little things like that, and kicking a field goal, man. This game can come down to a missed field goal for somebody. I really think Bama's defense has just looked better. I really feel like they've grown so much through the year. And the takeaways, Gunnar Stockton's going to have a lot on his plate Saturday. And I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if Bama lost. They can't go in there and play sloppy like they did against, because, I know the Georgia and Auburn score was close. But coaching-wise, we know what we know. We know what the difference is. So, all right, guys, God bless you. Y'all have a great rest of the weekend. And tune back in here Sunday for the big show at 6 o'clock. And we'll break down all these championship games. And I think don't the other selection show come on Sunday night at 7? So I'll put it up on here and we'll dive into it all together and see where everybody's ranked. Big question. A lot of people, it's just going to matter if Bama loses, are they out? Whether they're going to be a 3-loss team, or are they going to, let them hang around? If they do lose, they're just going to keep them at 9. Just going to keep them at 9 or 10 or whatever. I don't see how Notre Dame could jump them. They're not going to penalize Bama for playing in conference games. So if they lose, they'll stay at 9. And some teams above them, we know at least a couple of those teams are going to lose. If Bama loses, then Georgia wins. But if BYU wins, they could bump Notre Dame just for not playing the conference game. So we'll come back Sunday night and we'll talk about it. Those are keys to victory, man. Ty Simpson running the ball, Bama gets some takeaways, and field goals could be a big part of the game. Gunner Stockton running around too. It seems to get away from Bama sometimes. They kind of forget, like, oh crap, he can run the ball. On a 3rd and 8, late in the game, and Gunner tears off up the sideline and gets a first down to extend the game. Put down there, it's 21-21. It's tied, or it's 21-20. Georgia's down 1. They go there and kick a field goal and win 23-21. The legs of the quarterback to be able to get out of trouble and make things happen when it all kind of breaks loose, because both these defenses are going to play well. I look for them both to have a good game. So, all right, God bless you guys. Enjoy your day tomorrow if you got to work. I'll be back in about 10 or 11. Check out Aniston and Jackson. And look out for scores on the page tonight, and I'll post some stuff, and we'll keep it all wrapped up. We'll bring her back in for the big show, Roll Tide, on Sunday night. See y'all.